balls so dry, they explode like dust. Suck my balls, suck my balls.
You must suck my golf balls. Mommy?
Yes?
Suck my balls.
You got a lot of growing up to do, buddy. Suck my balls. Sorry I'm different, but you can just suck my clit and my balls. You know what? That would. Suck my clit and balls. I don't have to suck your balls. Before this day is over, you will suck my balls. Suck my balls, fat ass. I will. I will suck your balls, Kyle. And I will get down on my knee and I will suck your balls. I'll suck them dry, Kyle. Suck my balls, Kyle. Well, excuse my French, Mrs. Marsh, but you can suck my fat, hairy balls.
Suck my big balls in your hairy butthole. Suck your big balls in your hairy balls, your hairy butthole.
What is that?
It's my balls.
God damn it, Carmen!
How would you like to suck my balls?
What did you say?
I'm sorry. Actually, what I said was... How would you like to suck my balls, Mr. Garrison?
Holy shit, dude.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of
Suck my balls, suck my balls, my balls, suck 'em dry.
Suck My Balls, a South Park review. I, of course, am your host in the heat, and I can't be beat. I'm your guy who's high, where the air is dry. Ya boy, MSG. That's right. I know. I made this one up, right? I'm the boy. I'm back. Matthew_Schaffer. That's where you can follow me on all social media outlets. Each and every week, we hope to bring you joy, laughter, emotion, anger, frustration, sadness, depression, whatever it may be, all the emotions combined. And we hope you let them all out here as we take you on the South Park journey.
Just got stupid sometimes, you know.
Each and every week, though, I am not alone. I am joined by two guys who have dreams. They want to conquer the world in their own form or fashion. They want to leave their mark. And each and every week, they join me to leave their mark with you on this South Park review. First up on the scene, my boy, the top out. Scoop freaking Jackson. What's up, Scoop?
It's my anthem. I love that song.
How you doing? Well, we're happy to have you back, of course, here on the podcast each and every week as we do. Also, of course, we're joined by our good buddy. He's back as he joined us last week for his return, and we sure do love him. So welcome him with open arms back to his podcast. The Dirty JV.
Everybody was kung fu fighting. Those kids were fast as lightning.
What's up, Joe?
Not much. When you said open arms, I honestly thought you were gonna hit me with The Journey.
Oh.
I was totally expecting Steve Perry.
Damn.
Oh, we had an opportunity.
We'll put that one in the bank.
Like I just thought Kung Fu Fighting would be a good one from earlier.
It was. I was pleasantly surprised.
Damn it, we gave one to Joe this week. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, Jay, Dirty JV, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm doing well. I'm still here in Colorado. It's cold.
It's very cold. I'm glad I don't live there no more. It's cold.
Bastard.
It's very cold. I saw all the weather reports, all the snow you guys have been getting. It doesn't look too fun.
The snow hasn't been too bad if, streets are shoveled and stuff. I'll never complain about snow, especially when it puts out wildfires and shit. And
okay.
We needed it, but if it could somehow snow and not be below freezing, that'd be great.
That'd be great. Well, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, for your weekly South Park fix. As this is, I'd say it's actually a pretty classically, I'd say, reshown, syndicated episode. Like, this episode is shown a lot on television.
I would agree.
Yeah, and it's one of the safer episodes to show on television. Like when you're saying syndication, like even then it's on like 9-10 o'clock at night on like, you know, CW or, you know, whatever time or whatever channel that is when the local affiliate's running it. And it's just, it's a safe one. There's not a lot of swearing. It's not the most controversial episode per se. So yeah, it's definitely one that can get repeated a lot, and Comedy Central definitely goes out of its way to play it during the day at least twice a month.
So you could say it's a softer episode.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely, I would agree with that assessment.
It's a softer episode, but it still goes pretty hard.
Yeah.
It's just very over the top in how it does it.
It's got its moments where it's just like, ooh.
Well, since we're already talking about it, let's get into it. This is Gray Dawn. It is the 10th episode of Season 7, the 106th overall episode. And if we haven't mentioned, this is Suck My Balls episode number 109, as we are now getting closer and closer to our celebration episode 111. As we're getting there. So again, continue to like, share, and subscribe. We appreciate you. And of course, check out our sponsor, thebakedboysclub.com. Baked Boys Club. Use the code SuckMyBallsPod and you'll save, guess what? 20% off your order. Baked Boys, not just a brand, it's kind of, sort of, why don't you say it's a lifestyle? Yeah, it's a lifestyle. South Park, Joe's going to drive a little bit today, but I'm going to, of course, drive the clips here. But Joe, why don't you start off and give us a little bit of synopsis and set up the episode for us?
The episode synopsis is basically after a slew of senior-related auto accidents, the citizens of South Park have decided to make seniors surrender their driver's licenses, and of course, the seniors fight back.
You just have a scoop.
They're not going to take this line down.
I'm going to do. You're not going to take away our licenses.
Do anybody remember what we were mad about?
Yeah, what? This damn kid's skateboarding on the sidewalk. We gotta get rid of him. But we'll get there.
We should all get together at the community center.
I think we're having that meeting right now. Oh yeah, we're having that meeting right now.
So the episode opens with a makeshift memorial at a farmer's market where they are memorializing 9 people who were run over at the same farmer's market the previous day by a senior citizen.
Oh my gosh.
The proceedings.
Why would you you just had somebody die in the street. I know it's supposed to be symbolism, but if this seems to be an ongoing epidemic, I would not then have the funeral proceedings in the street.
Honestly, I thought of it as like, you know, when like you have a friend die in an accident or something, you have like the vigil at that corner.
Right, I understood that.
Yeah.
But there were still people standing in the street. Like, did you notice? Like, they all should have not been standing on this. They should have stood on sidewalks.
Okay, I see what you're saying. You're not bagging on the location as much as the fact that they're standing in the fucking street.
Yeah, people died in the street.
They're just out in the middle of the street where people have died. And
I get it's a small town, so I understand what that's like to live in that small town. We've all lived or seen it, been around that. And when you're in that small town structure, it definitely is more of like, hey, people are walking across the street, not giving a crap, but people are also driving 5-10 miles an hour. You know,
it's a farmer's market. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
It's more of a lax situation, but you are right. This is a farmer's market too. So
like the streets would be like, fair. Even in a small ass town like that, they'd be blocked off.
That's fair. That's a fair point. So there you go. You pointed that out. You make the argument. So as you're mentioning, they're having the proceedings.
And at this point, the proceedings are interrupted by another senior with the driver's license mowing down everyone.
All right, let's start this quick intro here from the Father Maxie as he's going to be giving his proceedings, his eulogy, if you will.
Friends, we gather in this place to mourn the victims of yesterday's tragedy. 9 good people who were run over in the street by an elderly woman driver.
And here we are in the middle of the street.
God, memorial services are so boring. You insensitive asshole, Cartman. 9 people died. Yeah, but like 8 of them were hippies. Most of the hippies go to farmers markets.
8 of them were hippies.
Mostly.
It is sometimes hard
I like
in
that
times
callback.
like these to understand God's way. Why would he allow 9 innocent people to be run down in the prime of their lives by a senior citizen who, perhaps, shouldn't be driving? It is then that we must understand God's sense of humor is very different from our own. He does not laugh at the simple man walks into a bar joke. No, God needs complex irony and subtle farcical twists that seem macabre to you and
You
me.
have something to say there, Joe?
All that we can hope for is that God got his good laugh, and a tragedy such as this will never happen again. Look out!
Look out!
Stop shine back there!
Oh, Jesus. Jesus Christ.
Oh, I think I hit a pothole.
Man, that's crazy. All these people that are just, they're like, I guess we can't really do anything about it. Because, I mean, that's kind of what sets up that next thing here with Stan. He's having dinner, right, with Randy and everybody.
Yeah. And I love that. And they do it throughout the series. Like, whenever they really start questioning the capriciousness of God or God's plan or however you want to word it, it's almost always done by Father Maxie.
Right.
There are other characters that question it over time and everything, and like they definitely beat it over the head with my science, with the atheist
Science.
but more often than not it's usually Father Maxie questioning it.
Right.
It's great. I just enjoy that they have that character do that.
Right. No, that's a good point. So after this, now they're back in the family unit here. Stan asks his dad, right, why are old people allowed to drive?
Yeah, which is a good question.
Right.
Just throws it out there. Like I personally, all right, I'm just gonna throw my opinion out there, and I don't want to. I hope I get roasted or whatever. I don't know. I don't think if you're after like 75 or 70, I think you should get your regular, like every year you need to take the test.
Oh yeah.
You know?
I wouldn't say every year, because then the semantics and logistics of that you have that many more road tests being taken that day. Like maybe if it's like once every
3 years.
You do it at 70, 75, or maybe 73, something like that. But yeah, they definitely
73, 76, and 79.
There's definitely like, oh, okay, we gave you a license 60 years ago.
Right.
You can still totally drive. Like, I can't remember half of the crap I learned in high school, and that was only like 20 years ago.
Right.
And just like natural, before I get off on too much of a tangent, but just like natural degradation of your synapses and your reflexes and everything. It's not an issue of taking rights away or, oh, you're not mentally fit. You're just more physically demanding than we think it is.
No, that's a fair point. No, I think that's a good assessment there. Well, break it down. What is as far as what happens here? Stan asks his father, Randy, why old people are still allowed to drive, Joe.
And it's basically, well, they're old people. We can't impede on their rights, everything along those lines. And which leads to Marvin Marsh overhearing Randy's opinion to Billy's question and lets his own feels be known. He wants to be able to drive.
Right. So
meanwhile, he wants to be able to drive.
Let's play that scene.
Totally understandable. Yeah,
I agree. Like why he's thinks, he's going to make his case here to his son. I fought in Vietnam. I know, Dad. Billy, I didn't do all this to not be told I can't use my license. Anyway.
Right, and it's
go ahead.
Yeah, it's totally legit. It's a little old style and thinking, but he still has a point.
Right. All right, let's check this out.
Citizens have to be dealt with very gingerly, Stan. We can't just take their licenses away.
I'll be goddamned if they think they can take my license away.
Oh, hi, Dad.
I heard what you said. You want to take driving privileges away from seniors. Well, let me tell you something, Peckerface. I worked 55 years in a steel mill,
Yes, Dad.
and I flew Spitfires over Germany in World War II.
Yes, I know.
And I will be goddamned if the government thinks it can step in and take away my right to drive.
I think old people should have rights, Grandpa. I just don't want to die.
That's fair.
See, and that's where the personal freedom. Wow, this episode's getting way too political, but that's where the personal freedom thing comes in. But there's also personal responsibility. If you know you shouldn't be doing something, then don't fucking do it. I know I shouldn't own a gun. I don't own a gun.
Right. Before the next scene, before you get to the thing, I just want to talk about the scene itself because, like, out on Stark's Pond, right? There's a man fishing in his boat.
Yeah.
And then,
this is fantastic.
We're going to see a couple that drives off the bridge, and their Buick is going to kill this guy. And as I'm sitting here watching it with Scoop, I was like, "Did you notice the outfit and the makeup of this guy? He had curly hair, red." He had the outfit of Kyle. He kind of looked like a version of Kyle. Mm-hmm. And then when they talked about him on the news or whatever, when he died, they were like Kyle Zonavec or whatever. So his
something. It was like an L something.
It was it was like I thought it was a Zona, but like a Zona sound. But basically, they mentioned it looked like a future Kyle is what I thought was interesting.
I was gonna say, were they planting the seeds for the time travel storyline?
I don't think so.
That's what I brought up because it
was back in season 7. So
whatever.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to be
Matt and Trey be doing shit like that.
No, I'm sure they wanted to mess with time travel. I just don't know if they had the mindset to do a COVID storyline when we didn't know COVID was happening.
Which is why I didn't mention COVID. I just said time travel.
Right. I'm sure, but they've done the time travel before with Timmy going back in the past and then trying to change going back to the 3rd grade. So I bet you Timmy's got tons of stories. Timmy. And that's how the episode or that scene Timmy. Timmy.
And then Cartman's coma being back in 1776. Look at me back in time.
In 1776. That was the coma. Man, it was more like a daydream.
Yeah. So, and the best part of the incident at Stark's Pond was they were trying to find the country kitchen buffet. Now, obviously, the man fishing in Stark's Pond is crushed by the car and killed instantly. The news covers the rash of senior driving tragedies at this point. And at this point, Marvin Marsh and the other seniors have the meeting at the community center to decide what to do, which is the same meeting we alluded to earlier.
All right, let's go to this death scene here with Kyle, the adult fisherman.
More gas if you take the highway to Country Kitchen Buffet.
Less miles means less gas, you fool.
You fool!
If we wait till the next
There's
scene,
Country Kitchen right there. Where? Back there, you're gonna miss it, huh?
Scoot. Bye, Kyle.
Is this the parking lot?
I think so.
That guy died.
Another death tonight by senior citizen motorist. Carl Zorn of Pine Junction was killed instantly when struck by a vehicle driven by Pete and Lydia Malman, who were trying to
guess it was
find
Carl.
Country Kitchen.
We thought it was Kyle.
This latest tragedy.
So, man, that is our error. We retract that, but
Sorry,
it is
guys.
still similar. Kyle,
Right.
Carl. So Kyle,
It can.
So, and I mean, if he could have changed his name just in case,
Right
That's
now.
what I'm saying.
All right, let's jump into the meeting here.
But I am mad as hell.
I'm mad as hell.
I am sick of having my mental condition come into question.
That's right. We need to let everyone know we're pissed off and we're not gonna take it anymore. That's right, Pete. That's right. Now, can anybody remember what we're pissed off about? I remember we're all pissed about something. That's why we had this meeting.
What are you trying to do here?
Ooh, was it the
kids skateboarding on the sidewalks? No.
Oh, I remember. They're going to take our licenses away.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. That's right. They're going to try and take our licenses away. And I, for one, am mad as hell. Me too.
That's right. I'm mad too. I am sick of having my mental condition come into question.
So now, what are we going to do about it? Do about what?
They're gonna take our licenses away. They are? They can't do that.
Right, that's right. So you know what I think we should do? I think we should have a senior citizens meeting. Get all the seniors together at the community center and unite. Great idea, Marvin.
Wait, I think we're having that meeting right now.
Okay, you get the joke. This goes round and round.
Yes, it is. So, and as you said, they have a hard time remembering what they're there to do, but they eventually remember that they're supposed to have the meeting. They then forget that they have the meeting.
Yeah, exactly. This next part's great, right, with Randy?
Yeah, and that's what I was just gonna get to, because like anytime they mimic a disaster movie, it's like Randy, other than the Jeff Goldblum wannabe, Randy is the one to figure out that the shit's about to hit the fan.
I just love the evolution that we are now getting into of Randy's "oh my god," right? Because it starts here with more of a clear "oh my god," and as it progresses, into even when we get to season 10 with World of Warcraft, as we go, "yeah, my god,"
yeah,
son's character, they're gonna die.
"Oh my god,
Oh my god,
shit, I have to play World of Warcraft." Anyway, so yes, the evolution of his. Go ahead.
Randy finds out about the meeting, and this is when it all clicks in his head.
Right.
That means every senior citizen in South Park is going to be on the road at the same time, which leads Randy into running into town on foot, shouting out alarm to everyone to get off the road, causing mass hysteria, which is what Randy is best at.
He's great at it.
When he comes upon Gerald, he asks where the boys are, and the boys tell him, and Jerry tells Randy that the boys are playing street hockey. Oh my god.
Yeah, my god. Oh man. Let's watch this scene.
Yeah.
God. Have you seen Dad?
He's not here, hon. He's having a meeting with all the seniors in town at the community center.
Oh. Wait a minute. If all the seniors in town are at a meeting, that means that when the meeting gets out...
Every senior in town will be driving home
at the same time. Oh my god.
Now he runs into town.
Inside! Get inside! Seniors meeting getting out! Get off the street!
All right, great meeting, everyone. Let's do it again sometime.
So long, everybody.
Goodbye, Lucy.
And they're already hitting each other in the parking lot.
Right?
Get off the streets! Get off the streets! Old people are driving!
Old people are driving.
Gerald, where are the boys? We've got to get out of here! The boys, Gerald, where are they?
They're playing street hockey.
I love how Gerald was just ready to like leave the boys.
With just 10 seconds to go, the offense makes its move.
Doesn't even think
Marsh
about
heads for the goal and passes the ball to the poor kid. The poor kid hands it off to the Jew. The Jew shoots. Oh, and the shot is blocked again, proving once and for all that Jews cannot play hockey. It isn't fair. Carmen's fatter than the goal. I'm not fat. I just have a sweet hockey body.
Now Randy's running.
Look.
Yeah. And if you've ever seen like the first episode of Monty Python where like Eric Idle is way off in the ocean and he's
right,
this is exactly what it's like.
Is that your dad? I think so. Looks like Dad's been hitting the bottle again.
Looks like Dad's been hitting the bottle again.
What's he saying? I can't understand him. Calm down. We cannot understand you.
All right, and then now the old people are going to show up.
And that's when Kenny sees all the old people, because Kenny has that spidey sense.
Because he knows when he's about to die.
He has like that death sense. So break it down what happens following that. We don't need to show all the stuff here, but give us the next synopsis because it's kind of lengthy when it comes to it.
Right. And at this point, Randy has pushed all the boys off the street and into an abandoned house where, like any classic zombie movie, instead of zombies, it's just cars being driven by senior citizens, breaking down windows and doors. It actually one chases them up the stairs, like driving. Is this Costello?
Excuse me, is this Costello Avenue?
Costello Avenue? This part's funny because it's just in the dark.
Dead.
Quiet, keep quiet.
Dad, I'm
We'll
scared.
live here.
Keep your voices down. We'll stay the night in here. We'll stay the whole winter if we have to.
I'm not staying a winter in this room. You just need to tell old people they can't drive anymore.
Oh, Stan, it's not
This
that
makes no
simple.
sense.
Just relax while I find the lights. Here we go.
Here's the light on.
How the hell did we get up here?
It's so
How the hell did we
good.
get up here?
So at this point, the state of Colorado has had enough and has demanded that all seniors turn in their driver's licenses. And the seniors are unhappy about this. And it probably doesn't help that the DMV is just, well, here we go, snippy snip. Just
Very insensitive. Very insensitive.
yeah, completely insensitive. Even without his license, however, Marvin wants Billy to accompany him and to go pick up his new hover round. The boys decide to take the trip with him, thinking it's going to be safer in the car with Marvin as opposed to out on the street where they can be run down by Marvin.
This is one of my favorite parts in the whole episode. So you talked about we don't need to like show the Greyhound scene.
God,
It was
he's right.
it's not the Greyhound scene, the DMV scene where they're just you can't take away our licenses. How am I supposed to get to the grocery store to get my medicine and get my food? Well, you should have thought about that. So like we don't need to show that, but like let's definitely talk about.
Oh yeah, or maybe you should be in a nursing home. I'd rather be dead than.
Well, so we can arrange that if you need it. But the funny thing was in the previous scene, the guy was like, "How am I supposed to get to the grocery store? You can't take away our license. I've never had an accident in my life." That guy literally had an accident in the previous scene as he just drove through the freaking wall. And
I told you to turn right.
Exactly. that exact scene. So like, I was like, "Well, that's the same character, that same model."
So obviously, small town like this, old guy driving around, you know he's gonna get pulled over pretty much immediately.
Right. All right. Let's go with the fact that you mentioned here where Stan's grandfather tells him to get in the car with him. This is probably my favorite scene in the episode, actually.
Isn't this great, you guys? Being able to walk the streets now that old people are confined to their homes where they belong?
Billy, get in the car. I need you boys to help me pick up my new hover round.
Grandpa, I don't think you're supposed to be driving.
God damn it, Billy! You're supposed to listen to your dad, right? Well, I'm your dad's dad, and that means you get in this car before I tan all your hides.
Well, look at it this way. Statistically speaking, we're safer inside a car with an old person driving than outside.
My God, he's right.
My God, he's right.
Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. The Son of God, the valley.
Like a Cartman praise.
I don't know if I ever told you this, but well,
I love you.
I love you guys. Except for you guys.
Okay, all set.
Poor Kenny. Poor Kenny.
I think there's a police car behind you, Grandpa.
My anxiety was off the chain
around, you
waiting
moron.
for Kenny to die during this episode.
I believe that's us, thank God.
They get.
Could I see your license, please? I ain't got one. You peckers took it. Well, then I have to
peckers
take you to
dig it.
jail. You just try taking me to jail, scrotum head. You just try. Stupid son of a...
Oh man, that was hysterical.
Yeah.
He scrotum head.
So
funny.
Now
I love
that
it. That was
Marvin's in jail, they call Randy to bail him out. But at this point, Marvin and Randy kind of get into it after Randy treats Marvin like a 12-year-old, as Marvin says, even though it sounds closer to like a 6-year-old when you really hear Randy like, I think you owe the and so at that point, Randy decides to not bail his father out, which Marvin doesn't care because he's called in the AARP. He's called in the heavy guns.
Well, we'll see them right here in the next scene.
As we said, outside, we now go to the schoolhouse. Outside of the classroom, Garrison sees the AARP dropping in on parachutes with M16s like some goddamn infantrymen. It's great. They begin taking hostages and liberating retirement homes, telling seniors that the revolution is on.
Brother, revolution is on. Brother, here's a gun.
The best part is when there's like the old lady walking into like the activity room. Seniors, we're taking over the town.
Oh, I better get my coat.
Yeah, I better
get my other coat.
Well, I like the other one. Miss, or whatever her name is, we'll get to.
Randy, the revolution is on. Do you want a gun? Well, okay.
Gives the lady the lady laying there. Okay, let's go to that scene.
Do you need a gun? Might as well. Go ahead.
All right, so here's Mr. Garrison in the classroom talking to the kids before the AARP comes down.
You're the first film by the Mongol.
That's odd.
That is odd. I would
Those
just,
ROTC guys are way off course.
Yeah, I love it.
More old people! The American Association of Retired Persons.
Stay in your seats, children. I'll be right back.
Shut up a perimeter. Bring Bravo team to Point Delta.
Bravo team is go.
Bravo team is go.
Move.
Let's go.
Can I help you folks find something?
just shooting their gun needlessly. Like, what the fuck? Someone's gonna get hurt, or they kill each other at least. You know, just shooting each other one by one.
Oh yeah, definitely. And
tear gas. Get wrecked, Randy.
Put your hands up, young man.
Marvin Marsh?
Yes?
I'm Bill Stewart, president of the AARP. We've come to help the seniors in this town fight back.
Oh, it's nice to meet you, Bill.
Huh?
Yeah?
We came as fast as we could. Just had to stop by Country Kitchen Buffet first. It's the nursing home. Liberate our comrades.
There now, Mr. Johnson. We can go to the cafeteria and get you some nice cream corn and toast. Can I help you?
Help this. Oh, the revolution is on, brother. We're taking control of the town. Well, it's about damn time. Everyone, we're taking the town.
Okay. Seniors, we're taking the town over.
The revolution is on.
Oh, the revolution?
Oh, I better get my other sweater.
My other sweater.
Mrs. Ryland, seniors are taking over the town. Would you like a gun?
Well, I suppose so.
What the hell is going on?
Shut your pie hole and get over there.
So as you heard there, yes, the seniors have taken over the town. Now they're taking all the adults hostage because they want their licenses back, Joe.
Yeah, they do. And if you haven't figured out where the episode got its name from, it kind of beats you over the head there. More and more reinforcements arrive, but then so does the actual military. And this is where the seniors begin listing their demands, such as the return of their licenses and more money for Medicare and keeping kids off the sidewalk with their skateboards. this leads the AARP president, Bill, to realize that they could take over the whole damn country. The children have now found out that all their parents are under lockup, and Randy tells the kids that since they get up so early, that kids are the only hope for getting the town back, since they get up as early as old people.
Right. It's an interesting notion that like it comes down to the kids. Like, come on. First of all, that we know there are tons of adults we know who get up super early that aren't like old, right? Like you just have to get up to go to work. But it is funny that they make it solely rely on the children of South Park because the parents are unwilling to get up early in the morning to save their town, more or less.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go to a couple of scenes you mentioned here. We'll start here after the bombing of the military with Randy in the camp as he's talking to the boys.
Hey, Dad.
Stan, boys, you're safe.
Dad, why is everyone letting the old people do this? Why doesn't somebody stop them?
They've tried to stop them, son, but the seniors get up so early in the morning. They get everything done before everyone else is even awake.
They're saying something about taking over the whole country.
Yes. And now seeing how early they get up, I don't see how anyone can stop them. Wait a minute. You boys. You get up almost as early as they do. You can fight them.
No, come on, Dad. Can't you guys do it?
No, son. We like to sleep in.
2 hostages come front and center.
They're coming. Get out of here before they see you. Run to the hills and find a way to fight them. Go! Boys, avenge me! Avenge me!
All right, here's the camp scene. This next part's great. So they're going to explain the fucking plan to or they're trying to come up with a plan, if you will, to to stop the seniors. I just really like Cartman's plan.
It's great.
Here we go.
All right, check it out. Kenny did reconnaissance on the town. The old people have blockades here and here. Old ladies are keeping watch in towers around the perimeter.
Oh, that's foreshadowing of Mysterion. Kenny did some reconnaissance on the town. Anyway.
And he has got some bomb-ass reconnaissance there.
Yeah. The leaders, along with my grandpa, are most likely in the mayor's office.
If he's already
Their only solution is to cut off their life force. We can't fight them, Cartman.
No,
but we can sneak into town and shut down their food supply. Here. Country kitchen buffet? Yeah. You take out country kitchen buffet and old people won't know what to do. That's a retarded idea, Cartman.
Is it? 2 years ago, they closed the country kitchen buffet in Steamboat Springs, and all the old people died of starvation in less than a week.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that. Even if it could work, how would we go about shutting it down?
Here we go.
I think I have a plan, but we'll have to do it tonight.
This is it.
We'll start by sneaking into town, cleverly disguised as black people.
Okay, now when they say cleverly disguised as black people, they mean blackface here, for those who are listening to the audio.
Yeah, and that part may be taken out of syndication, if I remember.
That part may be taken out of syndication. However, I will say that as far as when it comes to quote-unquote black faces, the only one really here that can pull it off is Kenny, because you don't really ever see his face. So he doesn't even really need to paint his face. He could just like wear a gator up above his mouth and then just put his hood on and it looks exactly like Kenny. So like he could kind of get, or he could just wear eye mask, eye black.
Like Batman.
Yeah.
Like Batman, exactly. So Kenny can kind of get away with this. The other ones, no, you can't get away with this.
You can't do that, you guys.
Yeah, don't try to... Yeah.
Superhero around the eyes, fine. Whole face, not good. All right, here's Cartman explaining the rest of his plan.
At 5:45, Kenny and Kyle split off and set a diversion on the east side of town.
Pulls a choo-choo train. I don't understand
Meanwhile,
that.
Stan and I sneak into the mayor's office and steal some of the explosives the old people have stashed. 9 o'clock, we rendezvous at the country kitchen buffet, where we strap the explosives and the timer to Kyle's chest. We say our tearful goodbyes to Kyle, and then we send him inside. Yay! I did it!
Yeah, or we just go to Country Kitchen Buffet and lock it from the inside so the seniors can't get in.
Well, right, or we do that.
Oh, right.
So at this point, Stan, yeah. So yes, as Stan suggests, they lock the doors from the inside, which basically, effectively, as Cartman said, stops their food supply. as the AARP is taking stronger action, planning on killing off anyone under the age of 65, which would effectively end mankind, at least in this country. Marvin realizes that this is not a good idea as it's being proposed.
He was like, I just want to we just want our licenses back.
Yeah. And so at this point, they all show up to the country kitchen buffet at 6 a.m., just as doors are supposed to be opening, as the boys predicted. And
6 a.m. What's going on?
It's 6 a.m. And they start shaking. The doors don't open, and they start getting very hungry at this point. And when they get hungry, they get weakened, and they start releasing the hostages.
Here we go.
What the heck? Huh? What is this?
Yeah.
It's 6 a.m. Country Kitchen should be open. It's not open? Has to be. Try a window. They're blocked from the inside. No.
They're blocked from the inside.
Let us in. Open the door. It's 6 a.m. Open the country kitchen. You have to let us in.
You have to let us in.
Open the country kitchen buffet.
Now, are they all dead?
They're just, passing out from exhaustion, lack of food.
All right, everyone. Area secure. Collect their weapons and free the hostages. That was a great strategy, boys. You may very well have saved this entire country. Oh, what happened? Is it over? Everything is fine. Control of the town is back to you folks.
Country Kitchen? What happened?
Sir, what should we do with this one?
It's up to the townspeople. Well, I think he learned his lesson, huh? Don't you feel silly now, Dad? I think somebody owes us all an apology. Yes, he does.
Oh, stop it, Dad. This is partly your fault.
Huh?
Look, all Grandpa wants is not to be talked to like a child. I think half of what he's angry about wasn't what you were doing, but how you were doing it.
That's right.
And Grandpa, you should be proud that you made it through life to be a senior, but you should also realize that when you get behind the wheel, you're a killing machine.
I know. I guess sometimes us seniors need to know when to stop driving so we don't put the responsibility on our families.
Well, I think this has been a real learning experience for the Marsh family. People died, but...
People died.
People
died.
Sure, I'll drive.
That's our grandpa.
Dude, I hate my family.
Dude, I hate my family.
Right? I hate my family. So, yes, as you heard there at the end, Joe, why don't you wrap it up? What happened there? Just to make sure.
So they basically, everyone goes home. Stan laments the existence of his family, and everyone goes home. And the Marshes did learn an important lesson, even though people died. And because in typical South Park and cartoon fashion, everything went right back to the way it was, and Marvin Marsh was treated no better than he was prior to this.
Really? All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for this recap. We'll be right back on the other side with some of your trivia and pop culture after a word from our sponsors. Subscribe to Suck My Balls, a South Park review on Spotify, Apple's, iTunes, anywhere you want to download a podcast. Just type that in, subscribe to our feed. You'll get the latest, greatest episode each and every week. You can also listen to us on YouTube and go back and watch some videos or any of our library. It's all there. Suck My Balls, South Park review. Hey guys, we just want to take this quick time out here just to recognize our sponsor. What's that? Well, who's our sponsor?
Baked Boys Club.
Baked Boys Club. TheBakedBoysClub.com.
The Baked Boys Club.
That's right, the Baked Boys Club. You can use our code SuckMyBallsPod and you'll save how much, Joe?
20 motherfucking%.
20.
You heard it right.
20%.
20%.
That's right, 20%. 20. That's 1/5 off your order just by typing in Suck My Balls Pod at TheBakedBoysClub.com. What does the Baked Boys Club have? Well, they've got hats, they've got shirts, they've got stickers, tons of different apparel. They've got mystery boxes, and if you use that code, according to Scoop, it brings it down to $49.95.
So use Suck My Balls pod code at thebakeboysclub.com. Bake Boys, not just a brand.
A lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle. That's right.
It's a lifestyle. I may have been too big to do that.
And we are back. Once again, shout out to our sponsor.
Big Boys.
Shout out to our sponsor there, thebakedboysclub.com. Use our code SuckMyBallsPod. You'll save 20% off your order. Big Boys, not just brand, it's a lifestyle. Also, shout out to our sponsors provided by Spreaker. Whether you listen to them or fast forward them, we thank you for supporting our podcast. And thank you to Spreaker providing monetization options for all of their podcast content creators. Scoop, on this week's edition, can the Scoop read this? It's time for trivia. Scoop, start us off with some trivia.
Fucking hate you guys. In the jail cell, Marvin Marsh is able to stand and walk unaided. He was also able to do this in Quintuplets 2000.
That's pussy power.
It is possible that sometimes in episodes the writers draw one-time characters to resemble adult versions of the boys and then kill them off. In this episode, the man is fishing and then killed by elderly drivers looking like an adult version of Kyle. He has red, curly hair that looks like Kyle's fro, and he also is wearing an orange and green color scheme that is similar to Kyle's clothing as well. In a news report, his name is revealed to be Carl Zorn, a name that sounds similar to Kyle. A similar phenomenon is seen in Free Will's ex.
Free Will's Yak.
Free Will's Yak. With the truck driver who strongly resembles Stan.
Oh, the truck driver did look like an older version of Stan.
Yeah.
God damn it.
We haven't gotten to that yet, have we? We haven't gotten to
No. Will's Yak.
My home is on the moon. I have to get back to the moon. No, we haven't done that one yet.
I think it's next season.
Yeah, Will's Yaks is another
9.
2 seasons away.
Season 10. Or season 9. Sorry.
Season
9. Yeah, the end of season 9.
Yeah. So that's your trivia. Go ahead.
Yeah, and Scoop made it all the way to Will's Yaks.
He did. Good job. Good job, Scoop. Proud of you.
I'm psyched, dude.
All right. Let me start by reading
it.
Some references to pop culture, and then we'll come back to Scoop. We'll see if we can finish. The topical references of this show is a fatal incident at the Santa Monica Farmers Market of June 2003, where the elderly driver, George Well, killed 10 people and injured many more by accelerating through the closed road. The car Weller drove, a Buick LeSabre from 1992, is also featured in this episode, as the car which killed a man who was fishing when the car was driven off of a bridge. The scene also parodies Jaws using the theme music from the movie, as you heard when the car was about to fly off the bridge. The restaurant that all the elderly eat at is named Country Kitchen Buffet, which is a combination of the names of two similar restaurants, Country Kitchen Restaurants and Old Country Buffet. So you probably saw a Country Kitchen Restaurant. I've seen a Country Kitchen Restaurant in California. There was a big one out there.
I think it was Old Country Buffet.
I've seen an Old Country Buffet as well, too.
The one I saw in Wickenburg was Country Kitchen.
I've seen that. I think I know what you're talking about. The title of this episode and many of its scenes are a parody of the 1984 film Red Dawn. Obviously, as Joe alluded to, the title is named Grey Dawn. Specific examples include the AARP troops parachuting into town while Mr. Karasik lectures his class on Genghis Khan and sees him outside the window. Also, many of the townspeople rounded up and held inside a prison camp with Stan's dad talking to the boys' defense and shouting, "Avenge me!" is also taken from Red Dawn, as also Red Dawn was shot and filmed in Colorado, as far as the plot.
They get too early, Stan.
The sequence where a convoy of elderly drivers are seen approaching with Randy shouting for the boys to get off the road references a sequence in John Carpenter's 1983 film adaptation of Stephen King's Christine, with similar staging and music to the scene where Christine chases a victim at a slow pace before running him down. Similarly, another scene in which multiple vehicles destroy the walls of an abandoned house that Randy and the boys were hiding in and then chased them up the stairs also came from Christine during the scene where she tracks down and murders Will Darnell. However, this scene does not take place in John Carpenter's film, but only the original novel, and the house in question is Darnell's own. And then finally, Stan's grandfather states that he is mad as hell. I'm mad as hell! Which is a reference to the 1976 movie Network.
Network is a great movie if you guys have never seen it.
I'll check that out. Well, Scoot, why don't you talk about some of the continuity, references as far as how South Park likes to link everything together here?
The line, mostly hippies go to farmers markets, mostly, harkens back to Cat Orgy and film Alien.
Yeah, mostly.
Randy's line, that's our grandpa, and ensuing laughter echoes Stan's line in Death, that's my silly grandpa. After that line, the family laughs.
Right. And then also Cartman, I don't know, it doesn't look like it's in here as well, but Randy references that again in the Museum of Tolerance. That's our Cartman. Like he also says it there.
Yeah.
In the news theme, there are clips from Two Guys Naked in a Hot Tub, The Tooth Fairy Tats 2000, The Simpsons Already Did It, A Ladder to Heaven, Red Man's Greed, and Christian Rock Hard.
And speaking of the Tooth Fairy Tats 2000, not to plug something, but if you go and check our Facebook, and so if you can join the South Park Fans United group, I don't know why Joe got kicked off Facebook. Apparently you can't say nuts, even though that's not a word that we've put in there that you can't use, but apparently it incites violence. But that being said, I posted in the Facebook group, I was like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on lately. I don't know if the Tooth Fairy is into me or if she's got the hots for me. But after years of putting my teeth under the pillow, I finally saved up to get a Sega Dreamcast.
And I responded with the Cartman Tooth Fairy line of go to sleep until morning, otherwise I'll kick you in the nuts, square in the nuts, in the nuts.
All right, finish that up, Scoop.
Within like 3 minutes of posting that, dude.
And Facebook was just like, boom, you're gone.
Bye.
I don't know why. Even it's our South Park. You know what it is, though? It's because Joe constantly gets in trouble on Facebook. Like, I'll be like posting, or I'll be like scrolling through my thing, and it'll be like Joe is posted in this random group on a wrestling group, just like telling Marks off. No, you're an idiot. No, you're stupid. What are you talking about? Oh, yeah, you think he should just die now? Is that what you're saying? I'm going to find you, and I'm going to take your mom's penis. And I'm like, whoa.
I never said that shit.
I'm like, getting a little excited over there.
Sorry. Can't compose myself here. Go ahead, Scoop.
All right. The Buick driven by the senior citizens in the lake scene is exactly like the one driven by the visitors in Canceled and the one driven by Ted in Night of the Living Homeless. Mrs. Whalen, the pink-haired old woman who was given a gun while laying in a hospital bed, later seen standing at South Park sign behind some sandbags. There she has her IV unit with her and wears a blue dress with white flowers instead of her hospital gown.
All right, so she made it out of the hospital. Good for Mrs. Whalen.
Good for her. There you go. You got a gun and you're standing on your feet.
You got a gun and you're standing on your feet. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we don't have a what did Kenny say in this episode because he only had a woohoo and a like scream. So there wasn't much else there. So Scoop, why don't you tell us what you liked about this episode since you're talking so much?
Fine. All right. Cartman explaining their plan. Of course, that's a good one. The scene where the old people are all together, they forget what they're mad about, and they forget that it's their meeting at the rec center. Randy running through town. It's old people, get off the street! Oh my god! All right.
That's some good point. Yeah, I like the oh my god stuff. I enjoyed the scene where Kyle explains to the boys, well, statistically, if we get in the car with the homeless person, we have a better chance of surviving than being outside. And Cartman having to agree with him, even though he hates Kyle. Like, he's right. That one it gets me every time, just because I know it pains Cartman to have to agree with Kyle, even so much so later, which then leads into my third thing I like about this episode is his original plan. We strap the bomb to Kyle. We say our tearful goodbyes, and then we blow it up. I don't think we have to blow up Kyle. We could just lock the door from the inside. Oh yeah, I guess we could do that too. So I like that scene. Joe, what did you like about this episode?
Just the homages to Jaws and horror movies in general, with the Christine reference and the shout out to the Aliens reference that they had done earlier in Cat Orgy. The Priest Maxi point that I touched on earlier, and just the ridiculous way at which they tackled this issue. And like, even 20 years later, it's still kind of a problem.
Yeah, no, it is true. I would say that we, in a society now, It's very interesting because there is that problem, right, of seniors having to drive everywhere and, still getting into accidents. But on the flip side, we also don't necessarily take care of senior citizens and veterans.
No,
so it's a very contradicting.
And you're totally right. That could just be a symptom and not the actual problem.
Right. But it's just interesting how we're not doing well on both sides of the spectrum. You know what I mean? Rather than at least excelling at one thing and being like, okay, here's what we can work on. It's like, no, this shit isn't working, period, right now. We should figure out a better alternative. But
that's a lot of things going on now.
We're just three guys on a podcast who like to talk about suck my balls.
Suck my balls.
And speaking of that, that's going to do it for another edition of
Suck my balls, suck my balls, my balls, my balls, suck 'em dry.
Suck My Balls, a South Park review. I'm your host in the heat, and I can't be beat. I'm your guy who's high because the air is dry. Your boy, MSG. You can follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at Matthew _Center. Each and every week, me and my boys are here to deliver South Park news. If you want to keep in touch with us, you can go online and check us out on Twitter and on the gram at Suck My Balls Pod and on Facebook at South Park Pod. And I said it this week without fucking up. Also, you can check us out each and every week. If you want to just check out old episodes, check out the library. Go back and just follow along if you're just getting into the show. Joe, what do you got going on in this special day or in the special world?
February 6th at the Roxy Theater, instead of watching the Pro Bowl with a bunch of guys who don't want to be playing a football game in Vegas, they'd rather be doing something else. Come on down to the Roxy Theater in 5 Points. It will be Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead. I guess that's a shout out to a movie or something. I'm not quite sure. I didn't name this one. But that will be February 6th. Tickets are $15 and $22. And you can get those at the Roxy Theater's website. Also going to be doing a lot of stuff on Fight App coming up.
All right, and of course to our boy Tamao, what's going on? You got anything you'd like to plug or put over Scoop before we go today?
Scoop.
That's it. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for another edition of Suck My Balls. We'll be back next week as we are, usually here each and every week for episode 110 as we inch closer and closer to the big 111.
It's getting closer.
I'm your boy, MSG, and it's been a pleasure as always. Thanks for coming.
listening.
Yeah, thanks for coming back to another edition of Suck My Balls.
Maybe we better do a towel call. That's a towel call?
This conversation is kind of leaving me dry. No small talk leaves a pain in my side. Bed of roses can bring a man in vain to the bridges where I see his name. Oh, on the river as it lights up the way. Oh, seems to float his boat, and now he knows to rock the waves. Yeah. Conversations that he has in his head are no longer demons, and he can finally go to bed. And he knows that things will change for worse or for better. He can't ignore all he's better